Someone should make it fun. Okay, remember to introduce yourself. So if we haven't met for any reason, my name is Melissa Capozio. I'm president of our Library and Information Studies Student Association, LISSA. You've probably heard me talk about it, welcome days and everything else, and we post a lot. But this is just a general town hall to kind of discuss what's going on with the department, and this as well as Dr. O'Connor will be speaking, just to kind of catch everybody up on what's happening, just because especially a lot of us are distance students, so we don't get to talk about it a lot, and want to keep everybody in the loop. So I'm just going to go over a few things that LISSA is doing currently and will be doing over the next semester. So the main thing is LISSA is your student association. So this is the main group for the LIS department, and we really would love to have everyone who is enrolled a member. It's really easy if you haven't done it yet. It's just go on to Spartan Connect. You can just Google UNC Spartan Connect, and then you can actively add LISSA as one of your main groups. So if you are not a member, please do so. We do a lot of really great stuff, so I will be talking about it. If you ever have any questions about how to join, you can contact one of us and we'll post the emails and everything, or ask one of your classmates. So the big thing that we are doing this year, LISSA turned 30, which is major for us. We have decided to do a diversity initiative. If you follow us on Facebook or if you've seen our emails in the listserv, we've been scheduling talks with different people about different topics in diversity and inclusion in the LIS field. And we've also been posting a couple of things on our social media about books by diverse authors that we really think should be integrated into material use. So we want everyone to be a part of that. We had a great speaker, actually Dr. Leticia Villas, one of our great other faculty here. She gave a great talk about being a better ally for marginalized groups in the LIS field. So we're going to try to keep doing that over the next semester, which actually Deborah, one of our diversity residents, is actually going to be giving a talk next semester, as well as Gerald Holmes, who works over at Jackson Library, and a few other speakers from other universities. So we're really looking forward to that, so please keep an eye out. Please come if you can. We'll be streaming it on WebEx, so if you can't make it, that's okay. We appreciate it if you would come now. Also, if anyone has any ideas for resources or things with diversity and inclusion that you would like us to know about, please let us know, because we want everyone to be kind of involved in this. The next big thing is also our meetups. We actually recently had a meetup here in Greensboro to go see The Hate You Give, which unfortunately a lot of us, we were sick. We're busy, so we couldn't make it, but hopefully we're going to have a few more Greensboro meetups. But we also have one coming up in Charlotte this coming weekend on Sunday, 2 p.m. at Amelie's Bakery. I think I've heard it's really, really good. If you guys can make it to the Charlotte area, we posted information about it, and we'll be sending it out one more time through the listserv in an email if anyone has any questions about that. But if you're in the Charlotte area, please meet up with your friends, because this is a great way to network with your students who you may not get to meet outside of class. So please do meetups. And if you would like to host a meetup in your area, please let us know, and we will help you schedule it and set it up. If you guys online have your mics on, please turn them off. Yeah, just mute yourself. We're getting some feedback. And then also, for everyone who is here in the area, we are actually having a reception on Friday for Deborah Caldwell, our new diversity resident. It's going to be in the Teaching Resources Center, which is on the 3rd floor of the School of Education from 12 to 1. We're going to have snacks and stuff, and we're all just going to celebrate her being here. So if you can make it, please do so. This Friday. The 9th of November. And then just a few other things about what we do in LISSA is a big thing is advocacy work. So we've been working with, actually our vice president has been working really tightly with Dr. Anthony Chow, one of our other professors, with advocacy through MCLA. and that's a great opportunity for us. So we'll be actually sending out some information about that in the future. If you want to be on an advocacy team or be a part of an advocacy team that goes to National Library Legislative Day, those are opportunities that we have through LISSA. So please keep an eye out for all of these things. Please join if you have not. If you can try to make meetings, that is awesome. We know that our weird times throughout the semester, but it's the easiest time that works for the majority of us. We do record our meetings, we do the minutes, so if you ever can't make it, we do have information for you. And that's really about it. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody online, any questions about LISSA? Thank you, Allison. Okay, and please make sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and just keep an eye out for emails to the LISSA. And now I'll turn it over to Dr. O'Connor.
Thank you. Welcome. It's so nice. There are a lot of folks in the room I don't know yet, so and I'm sure I haven't met a lot of you online. I'm LISSA O'Connor. I'm the chair of this department. I'm also a faculty member. I was a librarian for 10 years. I've been teaching for longer than I'm going to tell you. I'd have to tell you if I told you that number. I don't teach a lot now, but I teach in the areas of information literacy and human information behavior and business information. So I wish the thing that I miss most about the classroom is that I don't get to know you all as well as I did in the past. So this is really a nice opportunity for me to talk to you for a minute, but what I really want to make plenty of time for is for you to talk back to me when I'm done. Online, if you want to chat questions for now, but at the end, I would prefer you actually turn your microphone on and ask rather than chat if you feel comfortable doing that. If you'll keep your mics muted until then, there's just a lot of clicking and those kinds of noises. But, you know, feel free to interrupt with a chat or hand raise in the middle of something if you want me to clarify. Again, I'm going to try to kind of fly through this because I want to give you plenty of chances to talk to me. So, why isn't it moving? Oh. There we go. Okay. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about yourselves because you probably don't have the big picture of who you all are. There are right now about 323 students in the MLIS program. We have a few more who are doing licensure only, but those are the folks in the main program. About 278 of you identify as female, 45 as male, so you can see we still are largely a female student body. About 63 of you are full-time, and about 260 are part-time, so that the equivalent there is about 238 full-time students. The average student takes about 7.5 hours per semester, and in terms of diversity, you can see here we have, and this is self-identified, we have 33 students who identify as African American or Black, 6 Asian, 1 Hispanic, 9 multiracial, 11 not identified, 2 who are non-residents of the United States, and 252 who identify as white. So we have some diversity, but not nearly as diverse as we'd like to be, and we really are going to work on that and as well with the. So let's see here. I wanted you to know where you're from. You can see the purple dots are or distant students, and the blue dots are oddly main campus students. I don't know if that can't be completely true because nobody's in Tennessee.
I am.
Oh, you're from Tennessee. That's what it is. It's where you're from, right? Not necessarily where you're located. So you can see we have people all the way from Washington, all up and down our coast to the northeast there, and a few in the middle states. And then just to get a little closer in, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. You can see that there are really 3 big concentrations. This one, actually you can't see my finger, can you? One is Charlotte. They're in the very middle. Greensboro's right above that. Raleigh's to the right of that, and then you see a little tiny bit Nashville over to the left, few in Fayetteville, and then some along the coast. But you can see really, if you looked at it, there are three huge hubs, right, in those. So as we think about meetups and those kinds of things, that might be a good way to think about drawing some folks in. So just a few tips before we go on to some of the departmental updates. Make sure you're subscribed to the UNCG LIS listserv. That's the way we communicate about everything that's going on. We communicate about jobs that are available. You're really going to miss out on a lot. You should all be subscribed, but if you're not getting messages regularly from that listserv, you need to let us know, and we'll make sure you get on there. I want to emphasize that the 3-year course plan is here to help you look ahead and plan what you want to take in the future. But what I really want to do is give you the caveat about that. It's not a contract or a guarantee. It's just what we're going to try to do. Now, largely what happens is we do offer everything we say we're going to offer, but then we offer a whole lot more. You know, we always want to under-promise and over-deliver, right? So we're trying to tell you what you can count on, but then we're trying to add more than that as we go along. So check that 3-year course plan every once in a while, and it does not happen very often. Every once in a while, we're not able to deliver a course that's on the 3-year course plan because we can't find an instructor or because the class isn't filled, whatever the reason. But it doesn't happen very often. So you can count on that as sort of your minimum for what you'll be able to take. What I really want to emphasize to you all is do not wait to register for classes. About this time, I'm going to start going in and looking at course registration. And if we've only got 3 or 4 students in a course, we'll have to. The university requires us to cancel classes that have less than 7. So, and in some cases, for example, if we offer a face-to-face version of something and we don't get 10 to 12, we'll actually have to cancel the face-to-face version and turn it into a distance. So that is to say, if you want face-to-face courses, make sure you try to really sign up for them. It does designate on the 3-year plan when we're trying to offer face-to-face versions of the core. So make sure you sign up for those, and make sure you really register early so that I get a sense of, the opposite is also true. If I see that a section of a course is packed and that there are people on the wait list, I will often try to go in and add another section if I know early enough. So that all depends on you guys going in, registering. The important thing, too, is that you register for your classes, but don't over-register. Don't register for 5 of them because you can't make up your mind. That doesn't help. Sometimes that causes the course to be canceled. And then later in the process, and then the people who were counting on it are disappointed. So do register. And I just want to encourage you to get involved. Melissa gave you a lot of ways you can get involved. We're always looking for students to serve on faculty committees. There's a lot. This is a village. It takes a village to run this program really well. So we're always looking for ways to help you get involved and to help you feel ownership of this program. So if you really want to be involved and you haven't figured out a niche for yourself, give me an email and I will put you to work somewhere. I can promise you that. So let me know. So one thing I really want to just hit home with you all is to get field experience. You know, one of the challenges of the online classroom is that there's not as much real face-to-face human engagement. And we are working really hard to make sure that you have multiple opportunities across the curriculum to engage with the field in a number of different ways. Now, a lot of this will happen actually in the course of your classes. So you have projects where you're required to go out and talk to people in the field and do those kinds of engaged learning projects. But we have some other things that I want to make sure you know about. And the first is a practicum. If you don't have extensive experience working in a library, there's not a single one of you who should leave this program without a practicum. It's really important for you to get this kind of experience. I realize that the challenges of doing a 120-hour practicum can be significant for those of you who may be working full-time. If that is you and you're working full-time and you cannot do a traditional 120-hour practicum, get in touch with me, and we can do sort of a project-based practicum that can be a lot more flexible in terms of scheduling. They can really get you engaged with some field near your home. We can do this even in Washington or wherever you are, Maine. So let me know if that's a challenge for you. You can have an idea of where you want to do your practicum, and that's great, and you can start working with that local agency, or you can have no idea where you want to do your practicum. Either way, you want to get in touch with Dr. Sonia Archer-Capuzzo, and she will help you get all the necessary paperwork together. She can help you make connections if you don't know where you want to do your practicum. She's going to be your key point person for getting the practicum for yourself lined up. You do have to have finished all your core courses, and really practicum are best in the somewhat later part of your academic career when you really have a pretty good sense of where you want to go. I've known a lot of practicums that lead to jobs. So really think about that, and let us help you make that possible for yourself, even if it's a non-traditional one. Study abroad is another way to get immersed in the field. Study abroad is right now only every 2 years. We're trying to add another experience, but for right now it's every other year, so it's this summer. We're going to be in Ireland and Northern Ireland. The course is actually technically full already. However, if there were someone from UNCG who really wanted to join in right now, I could probably fit 1 to 2 more people in, because people usually drop out over the course of the next month. We usually lose 1 or 2. So I really want UNCG people in the class. We've only got 5 of you from here right now. It is cool because there are students from almost every other LIS program across the country. So you really get to know some other LIS students. Someone, could you check your mic and mute for me? We hear a lot of keyboard typing. Thank you. I can't see who it is, but... Sorry for the interruption. It's just, I think we got it. Okay, so if you're at all interested in studying abroad, and I actually think I'm going to have some small pots of scholarship money for UNCG students, so if you have any interest in that, let me know ASAP, and we'll see if we could make that happen for you. We also have a handful of teaching assistant positions. We have an undergraduate gen ed information literacy class, and so we'll be looking for new people for fall of 2019. And so if you're interested in that, if this is a 15-week teaching experience, 4 credit, outstanding for your resume. So we have a couple people in here who are doing it. So you can talk to them if you're interested. Raise your hand. You can talk to them about it. So I'd love to hear from you if you're interested in doing that. Really, it's going to put you miles beyond other people. Now, I'm sorry for the folks who are in Greensboro. It does meet face-to-face once a week. So I'm working on the idea, actually, of next year having an all-distance section. So maybe we could have a distance student TA for that position. So again, let me know if that's something you're interested in. Nope. Okay, alternative spring break. Basically what this is a very focused short-term field experience. No, it doesn't pay anything. Generally, you don't get any kind of credit for it unless we fold it into an independent study, which is possible, but you need to speak to me before you count on that. But it is a fantastic experience. So during the week of spring break, UNCG spring break, from March 4th to the 8th, you can be immersed in an institution near you. In some cases, we have been able to put people in locations that are not driving distance and put you up in a hotel. I don't know if that's still possible this year, but it never hurts to ask, so we'll give it a try. What you need to do if you're interested in participating in that is complete that student survey, and that's a tiny little link, but maybe you can make that work, or we can resend it out on the listserv. And you want to try to complete that student survey by November 14th. And what we do is we have also a call out simultaneously for hosts. So we get a list of people who want to host students, and we get a list of students, and we try to match your expertise and your location to the site's needs and the site's location. If you want to do it, but you're in Vancouver, you can also just let us know, hey, I really want to do this, I have no idea where. We will actually use our contacts to try to find someplace that could use you for that week. It's a fantastic experience. Who in here has done alternative spring break? So you might want to talk to some of these folks. Melissa was one of them, so if you're online, you could always email her and ask her about it, and Tori is the other. So you can talk with them about how it is and how it goes.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anne-Claire Niver. I'm the outreach coordinator for LIS, and I also work on our professional development program along with Dr. Sonia Archer-Capuzzo. You may not know that we have a professional development program. This is our second full semester doing this kind of thing. The good news is that for UNCG students, we're offering these courses that at a reduced rate for $25 per webinar. These are focused on a variety of topics, mainly things that you may have touched on in class, didn't get a whole lot of time to go in depth on, and so we're offering these hour to hour and a half long courses. We have a list here of the upcoming webinars. You'll notice that there is one next Wednesday evening. You are welcome. I don't know why that box is so dark, but our website is go.uncg.edu/LISPD. If you're not able to make any of these times, if that's not going to work for you, we also record these webinars, and you can watch them. And let's see. Also, if you have friends that are already teachers in the surrounding school system areas, we're actually offering CEUs in the digital learning competencies. So you'll get a nice little certificate at the end of all this that you can show to someone to redeem for those units. Also, we're a really new program. Like I said, we're only 2 semesters in. So if there's something, as you're reading this little menu here for the spring, if you're not seeing something that's of interest and you have an idea, please let us know. My name again is Anne-Claire Niver, spelled N-I-V-E-R. You can find me on that easy type-in email. And just let us know. And if you have any other questions about professional development, let me know. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Claire. All right, we back up. Okay, so I just want to give you a little bit of information about some of the major initiatives we're working on in the department. Some of these may not really have a lot of impact on you, but I wanted you to know what's going on. So one of the big things that has just started this fall, and it won't affect you unless this is your first semester, but we now have a $20 differential tuition fee. That's an extra fee you paid per hour when you registered. For most students, it's not even going to cost you, I believe, what was the figure, $700 across the entire degree. And I wanted you to understand what that money is for. So we don't actually actually have it yet. That's the bad thing, is there's always this window between you start collecting it and when you begin to collect it from students and when you actually get the money. So some of you may not see a lot of the fruition of this, certainly not this semester, because we won't get it until the semester's over, and probably not much in the spring, but you should really start seeing some activity in the summer and in the fall. And this fee was specifically created so that we can license our own technology so that you have off-campus remote access. So UNCG has a couple of distance programs here and there, but it's really not a great infrastructure yet. So you may notice in a lot of your classes you end up using free versions of software. So instead of doing something, for example, like Camtasia, you're using a free version because we can't offer you remote access. This new fee is going to allow us to negotiate licenses so you can use these products and have full license availability from home. Eventually, because it only starts with incoming students, it's going to take 2.5 to 3 full years before we actually have most of those funds. And eventually what we want to do with this money, because it will surpass what we just licensed products, is actually have someone on staff here that will be sort of a technology point person for you, so that if you're struggling with any aspect of using the technology that you need to get this degree, that person can be a real personal contact to help you with it. That's probably going to be at the earliest next spring, and it's probably going to be, maybe some of you will be gone by then, but I wanted you to know what the money is for, and I think it's going to make a huge improvement. I think most of you will at least see some of those improvements while you're here, if not the full improvements. Also, we are in the very, very last stage of being given permission to create an undergraduate in information studies degree. It has gone, so there are several cycles of permission. You got to get permission to plan, and then you have to get permission to plan the plan, and then you have to get permission to implement the plan. And our final thing has made it to the North Carolina system. We've got 3 more weeks, and in 3 more weeks we either get a yay or there are some problems. It's already been through twice, so I'm thinking if we're going to hear any problems, we would have already heard them. What I really wanted to emphasize to you all is that this in no way is to be competitive with the MLS. This is a degree that will prepare students to do a number of kinds of jobs outside or inside libraries, but not as librarians. So these would be the kind of jobs, they're sort of that middle part between people who program and people. So soft IT. So you might, if you had this undergraduate degree, you might be the chief information officer in an organization. You might manage their website. You might be the person who coordinates between programmers and customers, telling the programmers what the customer needs and explaining to the customer why the programmers can't do it. That's not really completely right. But, you get it's sort of it's not computer science, it's an IT, so it's that human component of IT. We actually are set, theoretically, to recruit students into this degree in the fall. I don't see how that's going to really happen that quickly, so it'll probably be the spring before we actually have real human people in this degree. The great thing that it may affect you all in the next year or two is that does open up some opportunities for additional teaching experiences. If you're interested in working in an academic library, teaching or being a teaching assistant for some of these classes will be a phenomenal experience. So just wanted you to know that's coming. We'll see. I'll let you know in a couple weeks if we get that final approval or not. The other thing that we're really excited about is we're working on starting Masters in Instructional Design and Instructional Technology. This master's currently exists in the School of Education right now, but it's strictly a K through 12 school oriented degree. We are going to broaden that out, and we want to prepare people who go and do instructional design and instructional technology support in libraries, museums, corporations. They act as corporate trainers. The military uses a lot of instructional designers, and in fact, a lot of libraries are advertising for people who have both experiences, the MLIS and instructional design experience. It won't be right away, but eventually, our whole purpose is to set up a joint MLIS, MED, and instructional technology so that you could go out there and get a job in an academic library, being the information literacy person there and doing all the training. So that's our ultimate goal. So probably won't affect a lot of you because this will be fall of 2020 when we start this. But I wanted also for you to know that's where some of our efforts are going. I want you all to mark your calendars. This is such an amazing day. The Cora Paul Bomar Summit is March 29th. We are bringing Barry Houlihan all the way from Galway, Ireland, from the National University of Galway, the National University of Ireland at Galway, and he's going to talk about information and empathy. And if you've been following politics, news, whatever, you all know we need a lot more empathy in this world. And so I think he's going to really have an amazing talk. It's free for students, and usually lunch is free that day. So please, please think about coming. It's just a fantastic experience. So mark it on your calendar. The very next day, we have an alumni lunch, and we love having students at this alumni lunch. This is a really amazing chance for you to begin to make some professional networking connections. Our alumni think a lot of this program, and they're looking for you out in the job market. So come and meet some of these alums and shake their hand and tell them who you are and what kind of job you're looking for. We will be holding all these things on, we will be streaming them as well, so you can look for that. You'll hear more about this on the listserv, but I really want you to put it on your calendar to know that it's coming. It's going to be a great day. And I think that was my last bit. So now it's up to you. If you have some questions, I'm just reading the chat there. If you have some questions, please do let me answer them for you, or comments. I have a question about the differential tuition. I started the program in fall of 2007. They have a differential tuition fee. Well, theoretically, it's not supposed to work that way, but I need to check on that. Our whole new student fee system is new this year, and I wonder if, for ease, they just made it simple and did it for everyone. It shouldn't be that way. You couldn't have had it last semester because it only got approved for this year. Yeah, this fall would be the first time. Well, that's interesting. So, I don't know. I'll have to check on that, and I'll get back to you all. I don't know what the online service center fee is. I'd have to look at that. You have tons of fees when you pay your tuition. Most of them have nothing to do with us. So, yeah, I will get back with you about that. Other questions? Suggestions? Feedback? This is your chance.
I have a question.
Yes.
I know that we have some of your LIS students in the library working as GSAs, or I don't know what you guys call them, graduate student assistants. Do you call them that here too?
GAs, I think.
GAs, graduate assistants. Does that count for the practicum?
No, you cannot do an assistantship and a practicum in the same, that you can't get paid necessarily for the practicum.
You insist on unpaid practicums?
I don't know that we insist on it. I think that it is generally to keep people doing something that's outside of what they get paid to do necessarily. So if you shelve, we don't want folks doing that as a practicum. So it's negotiable. We can talk about it, but generally, we want the practicum to be a situation in which the student, their learning experience is situated around them and what they need to know rather than the needs of their employer.
So just to clarify, I am a practicum student. I'm also a reference intern. So I'm doing the reference internship as my practicum. So you can do that.
So you are doing that. I didn't
Yes.
think that we did that very often, but.
Yes, you can. You just need to talk to.
But it's really, I guess what I'd emphasize though is the reason we sort of discourage it is because we do want it to be structured around the needs of the student, not the needs of the employer. So in ideal situations, it could work out for both, but, you know, we wouldn't want somebody doing a practicum where they're shelving books for 30 hours. Not that you would have that, but some people are already in that position where they're being paid. So it's hard to draw those lines
Right.
to understand.
Yeah, no, I was just more concerned about the issue of requiring so much unpaid labor.
Well, I mean, it's a great point, but most of the great assistantships that people offer are just and we do have so many students who come to us already with jobs that it's just important to make that distinction, that this has to be professional work that meets your learning goals. Other comments or questions? Yes. So that's a great point. A lot of people do end up doing their practicums where they work, but they do them in a different department, or they're not doing their work tasks. Because again, their work tasks are dictated by the employer's needs, not yours. So a lot of people will work it out with their employer that they can go do something that's at a professional level that satisfies them. Just talk with your advisors. That's the best thing to do, is talk with your advisor and figure out what it is that your needs are and how we can best match that. And with Dr. Archer.
Dr. O'Connor, can you hear me? This is Janet.
I can get it.
Hey, I just wanted to take an opportunity to promote the practicum that I was involved in last spring.
Yeah, please.
And I work full-time for Charlotte Mecklenburg Library. I have 3 children, so doing in-person practicum was not practical for me. So, but I was able to do the embedded experiences with Central Piedmont and Southern Piedmont community colleges, and it was an all online practicum. So I did that spring of 2018, and it's a really fabulous opportunity for busy students who, you know, may work and have families and other things going on. But I just highly recommend it, and I'm sure that Dr. Archer Capuzzo can provide any details to a student who might be interested in that. But it's a really great, practicum.
Thank you. I think there are actually several of those online opportunities too, so that's great, great addition to the discussion. Again, my big emphasis on the practicum was whatever your situation is, talk to your advisor or talk to Sonia or Dr. Archer Capuzzo, because we can do something that's non-traditional for you as well. We can wrap it up in an independent study, but make it field experience and get you something that really gets your hands in the field. Any other questions?
Yeah, how often do you guys have these town halls? Like once a semester?
We try to do them once a semester, yep.
It's really nice. We didn't have anything like that in my program. And we often wish that students had a way to communicate more directly with, you know, the chair, so forth. It's really interesting. I'm taking notes to send back.
Well, good. I'm glad that it's working well. We really, you know, we want the hallmark of our program when you graduate from here, we want the hallmark to be for you to leave and say, you know, I know it was a distance program, but I didn't really feel that way. I feel like I made lots of connections with my faculty and my fellow students, and so we really want to give you as many opportunities as we can for you to be engaged. And if you have other suggestions about how that can happen, I am all ears. So please let me know if you have some thoughts about how we can increase that kind of community. I'm going to give you any follow-up information. From accreditation, I didn't mention accreditation. What was that? You know why? Because my husband has told me if I say the word accreditation again, he's leaving me. So I've stopped using that word. We, not only were we reaccredited, we're one of a very, very few schools that has no follow-up reporting to do. They found us so excellent on every standard that we have no follow-up. So we have 7 years before we have to think about this all over again. No, actually, we think about this every day because we're going to be prepared. Because 6 years goes by a lot faster than you think. So we did great. And I want to give so much credit to LISSA and to all the students who were here at that time. You guys really impressed everyone. So thank you for all your input and your help. I cannot believe I didn't even lead with that. The faculty are going to be so disappointed in me.
Is the joint master with School of Ed going to be ALA accredited, or?
Just ALA only accredits, library schools. So
It's a joint degree. How does that work?
well, they'll accredit that part of it, but yeah, that's the other part. So. And you know, I have to say that it's really nice because they really keep us, they protect us in a lot of ways. Because, for example, for this undergraduate degree, we cannot take a single resource from the master's program and funnel it into an undergraduate degree. And this happens sometimes at universities. And our accrediting body really protects this program. And it gives me what I need to protect this program from people who might want to cannibalize a little bit. So for all the complaining that we did last year, it's a really great thing to be accredited. Let's see. The school library practicum students should contact Tammy Brewer for their practicums. Yes, I should have said that. Right now, I'm the only person who teaches study abroad course, and I only ever teach in Ireland and Northern Ireland. Maybe one day I'll branch out of that, but probably not. So your only hope is to talk with, I think Dr. Lindster might be persuaded to do study abroad in Scandinavia. I would maybe nag him a little bit about it. Hi, Noah, if you're watching. Let's see. I don't mean to circle back to previous topic, but so let me just clarify about the tuition differential. My understanding is that they were only going to apply it to new students. Apparently, that's not true. Apparently, it is applying to everyone. I will say, though, I didn't mean to mislead you to think it only applies to a couple of students. That's not right. If you are a main campus student, you don't get charged that fee because you have access to on-campus technology. I'm sorry I didn't make it very clear. This fee is for distance learners, and it is for you. It's just that we don't have the money yet, so we can't buy the technology. All this happens once you complete the semester. That tuition doesn't come back to us until the end of the semester. Because there are redrops and refunds, and all that has to work itself out. So I didn't mean to imply that you're not going to benefit from it. You are going to benefit from it. It's just going to take a semester or so. But I will check. It was my understanding they were going to apply this only to new students, but it appears that they've applied it to everyone equally. Unless you're a main campus student. And then you're already paying for that. All that stuff's already wrapped up in your tuition as a main campus student. Yeah, the main, so if you have this on your bill and you're a main campus student, then that is a mistake. Yeah.
Dr. O'Connor, I just wanted to mention for the student who asked about other study abroad opportunities, that East Carolina has a trip to Italy this summer that UNCG students can go on as well.
So Ashley was saying that there is a distant study abroad offered by East Carolina this summer to Italy. There are a few, and when I get announcements about them, I try to disseminate them. You just want to check to make sure with your advisor that those courses will transfer, that you can get credit for them. We actually have to look at the syllabi and approve them in order to guarantee that you'll get transfer credit in for those. And we also have to check your records and make sure you didn't transfer in anything else, because from graduate school rules, you can only transfer in a certain amount of credits from other programs. So if you want to do a study abroad program with another school, perfectly fine, but just make sure you check all that up front before you pay your money for the deposit. We've never had a problem with it before, but, you know. I'm going to give about 30 seconds more of quiet in case you have any last comments or questions. Oh, if you want to go to the study abroad, Allie, then we could probably work it out. I mean, it wouldn't apply to your degree, but since you'll already have graduated, but you can do it as a post-MLS student. Yep. It's a life-transforming experience, even for me. So I would highly encourage you to
study abroad. So, yeah, tonight was the town hall.
Oh. I think you're telling somebody else now.
Oh, okay. I thought she was talking to me. Okay, yeah, so get in touch with me, send me an email. The only thing is we need to do it really quickly because we're already, as I said, I'm already full with a waiting list of non-UNCG students. And if you want to go, I want to let you in before I let the rest of them in. So, anything else? I really appreciate your time. Thank you to the faculty for letting us rob you of a little bit of your class time. And, you know, if you didn't feel comfortable talking to me in this forum and you have some feedback you'd like to give, please pick up the phone and call me, email me, ask to meet one-on-one. My door's always open. You're why I'm here, so let me know what I can do for you, okay? Thanks very much. I really appreciate it. Good night, everybody. Don't forget to go to your classes after this.
Oh, exactly. Sorry, you're the only friend.
The meeting is recorded, yes. We will put the recording out on the...
Yes, we were better in 6th grade.
Yeah.
I dropped off.